As you can see, it's a gorgeous sunny day today here in Melbourne, Australia, and a great day to be in the garden. But unfortunately, as can happen on bright winter days and nights, we had a really big frost this morning and there's been some collateral damage. And it's not actually the first frost we've had, it's the third frost we've had in the last sort of 7 to 10 days. So I've got some work to do. Hi, if we haven't met before, I'm Lou from this patch of earth, and I'm going to be taking you through some of the cleanup that I'm going to do as a result of the frost damage that we've got in the garden. The first one we have is actually right at my feet, and that is our poor little set of dwarf bananas. And these poor things look absolutely decimated. They really did not like the frost at all. Obviously, we are pushing the growing boundaries, trying to grow bananas here in Melbourne, but they've been quite happy up until now. Luckily, right behind where you can see, I can see 3 little banana pups hiding at the back that have been protected from the frost. So what I'm going to do is actually cut the front ones, and the back ones will be able to grow on and become new banana plants. So that's pretty handy. Our large ones just here are also looking a little bit very sad and sorry for themselves. The front one's actually got some bananas on it, but I don't think we're going to get any ripe ones, so we might have to cut our losses there. But I'm not going to be removing these large plants because I think that they will recover. They're not completely looking dead like the small ones, so we'll leave them in place and see if they can recover when it gets a little bit warmer. So let's move on now and have a look at some of the other areas that were damaged by the frost. Another plant that has been damaged in some of the more exposed areas of the garden actually really surprised me, and it's some of our nasturtiums. They're normally pretty tough, but they didn't like these frosts, I'm telling you. So if you just have a look down here, Theo, you can see that a lot of the leaves are damaged. So the dogs are fighting. So that's a frost damaged leaf there. Now out the way, doggies. So what I'm going to do is just be chopping off all of those leaves, and we'll come back and have a look at it when it's been tidied up, because it'll look a lot nicer once I get rid of all those leaves. So in this area we've got some more plants that have been damaged by the frost. A lot of the nasturtiums that were around the mulberry tree are not looking very happy, but I'm sure there'll be some more that will come through. We've had so many seeds that have dropped. We can't keep up with pulling up the nasturtium, so it's probably not a bad thing. But next to it, I'm a bit sad on what's happened with our pepino bush. And I guess this is another tropical, semi-tropical plant which definitely doesn't like the frost. But all I'm going to do is come along and cut off the damaged bits. And there's lots of good leaves to give it photosynthesis. It's not dead, it's just a bit sad. And I think that chopping off all these dead bits, I mean, I come along and give it a good haircut quite regularly anyway, and it seems to respond very well to that. So I don't think it's going to be worried at all by me taking off all these extra bits. It'll probably make it even bushier and more gorgeous for the summer, to be honest. So that's what I'm going to do, just take off all the sad bits, and Bob's your uncle, really. It's pretty much as good as new. There we go. Oh, look at this poor little baby. My poor babaco, looking so sad. And it's got fruit on and everything. It had flowers, they've all dropped off. Never mind, I think it will recover. Again, with this, all I'm going to do is come along, and actually the leaves just come off pretty easily. I'm just going to take off all these dead leaves, leave just some of the top ones for a bit of photosynthesis, and some of the ones that are not too bad. The rest can come off, and they will be chopped and dropped and just put at the bottom to feed it and give it some more energy to make some new leaves. But it's looking a bit sad, but I think it's down but not out, this one. Fingers crossed, everybody, because we're determined to get a lovely harvest off these babacos. And right here is the future of our babaco, or mountain papaya plant. There are new leaves coming through, and I feel confident to take off the older leaves now because the predicted temperatures over the next 10 days, there's not a frost on the horizon that I can see. But if we do have another one, because it's going to be very exposed without its bigger leaves, I'll pop a hessian sack over the top of it to protect these new leaves so that they can come through for the summer. So what we had in this bed until this nasty frost came was a big bed of potatoes, and we'd actually already harvested probably, I don't know, close to a kilo from here, just foraging around underneath the mulch. But I didn't think this would be so affected by frost because it's high up and it's surrounded by wood chips and it's got lots of straw in here. But anyway, it did. So this was an absolutely thriving potato bed, beautiful and lush until a couple of weeks ago when the first frost hit, and it's just been gradually decimated. This area, particularly on this side, they've just completely gone to nothing. But anyway, that's the way it is with gardening. I have to be a little bit careful trying to get some of these potatoes out because we've got some pea plants in here and some perpetual onions. But I'm going to have a go, have a little look in here and see if there's anything around, because I'd like some potatoes for a birthday party we're doing tomorrow. Ooh, there's one. We've already had a harvest of probably just under a kilo from this bed, but I'd like to see if there's some more in here. There's some nice little ones. They probably only went in the ground about 2.5 to 3 months ago, so they haven't been in here long enough. I was hoping to give them about another month. Oh, there's lots of worms. That's good. Oh, there's a lovely one. I can't remember the variety of this one because these were all leftovers. This is part of my free food program. They were all leftovers from potato harvest I had last year, and I just put them back in the ground to see if they'd grow. So there's all different varieties in here. But I'm going to have a rummage around and see what I can find. So there wasn't too much in the other section because we'd already actually had a bit of a harvest from there. So now we're over in the other area, and let's see what we've got over here. Oh, there's a couple of nice ones. I don't know if you can see those there. Beautiful. Happy with that. What else have we got here? Oh, something else in there. There's another couple. Not bad for free food, even though they are a little bit frost damaged. The potatoes are still beautiful. And really, it's not even potato season yet, so I feel very blessed to be getting these. Oh, there's a nice one. Another good one. So that's the final harvest. There's probably more in there that I've missed. I expect we will probably be getting potatoes coming up in that bed forever. That's okay with me. They can't go anywhere else. And I'm just absolutely thrilled with this harvest. They were just spare potatoes that had sprouted that we were storing from last year's harvest, so they were completely free. We stuck them in the ground about 2.5 months ago, so they're not really, maybe 3 max. They're not even really supposed to be ready yet. They should have about another month of growing, but they are looking absolutely beautiful, and the frost had got the tops of the potatoes, but no damage whatsoever to these little beauties, and they are going to taste completely delicious. I think the variety is Royal Blue from memory, but we grew 10 varieties last year, so I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, that is our harvest, and we've been tidying up the frost damage. I'm sure if you're in Melbourne, you've got frost damage if you're a gardener as well, so hopefully it's given you some tips and ideas on just how to go around. Some things are not salvageable. You've just got to cut your losses and move on. Other things you can tidy up and they'll come back to life. Anyway, that's it from Lou and this patch of earth. See you next time. Bye for now.